everybody, Kelly Orchard here with Mustang Monday once again. I am the Badass Certifier. That's right. I certify badasses with License to be Badass, my program flipping the format on the fear of failure. And I love that I have this opportunity to present motivation for your Mondays, because I'm teaching you how to love Mondays again with my Mustang Monday Badass Tips from the Streets. Today, I'm taking another solo ride. I'm out looking for other badasses to certify and also to get them to hop in the seat and give a badass tip from the street. But I wanted to talk a little bit today about the time management mistakes that we all make that actually cause you more stress and even some clutter in your workspace or even at your home. You know, it's one of the things that you do is that you become so overwhelmed with the control of your life that everything gets completely out of control. Isn't that true? So I would encourage you to make that to-do list a little smaller, or allow yourself to move it over to the next day. That's what I do. It's like I keep a running to-do list and I tackle the ones that are the most important so that I feel that I've achieved something. But then if something doesn't get done, I don't overwhelm myself with it and think that I have had a failure of a day. I'll just move it to the next day and tackle the most important ones. Another mistake about your time management is not having a plan or a schedule for your life at all. Now, I'm not all about over scheduling yourself. I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty of committing to too many things and then I find myself overwhelmed. One of the things that I have learned is to learn to say no to stuff. But the things that are going to build your business or improve your family or relationships, don't say no to that. But you have to know the difference between the things that are really important and the things that you cannot do. But you've also got to have a plan for that. So, you know, like for me, for example, when I'm out trying to build my business, 2 networking events a week is sufficient. I don't have to be at every single thing. I also make sure that I plan some downtime. You've got to schedule that and make you the most important appointment of that day. Right? Put yourself on the calendar. Another mistake about time management is not having a morning ritual. Too often we go to bed thinking about what our next day is going to be like and wake up in a panic because we haven't really strategized it, or we wake up late. By just switching your morning routine a little bit and having a ritual, mine, it consists of I get up early, I brew my coffee, and I sit down with my email and with my journal and even checking my bank balances or whatever else I do. But I only spend a couple of minutes doing that, and then I dig into some self-care or some exercise, whether it's yoga or dancing or taking a walk around the block. You've got to have a good morning ritual, something that you strategize, you plan, and that you look forward to. Another thing is, like, once again, it's going to go into that same thing with the morning ritual. You've got to plan for self-care. You know, I often find that when I need to be creative, and I love being creative, I love writing, I love choreographing, I love dancing, but I need to find myself with having some alone time, some downtime, and even the opportunity to get fully bored, then the creative juices really start to flow. You've got to practice self-care, and that doesn't always mean an expensive massage or a pedicure or a golfing outing. It could just mean some self-care in your bathtub, or just reading a book, or just getting out there and doing the gardening that you love to do. Something that you love to do. It doesn't have to be extravagant or expensive to practice self-care, and you should be doing that practically on a daily basis. Another time management mistake that causes you some stress is not having boundaries for whether it's social media, your family time, and your personal time. You've got to set some boundaries. For me, it's like I've hired somebody to help me with my social media so that I'm not overwhelmed by doing it every single day. And I'll tell you, that's done wonders for my time management, because that gives me an opportunity to focus on other important things. You've also got to spend some time with your family, especially when you're building a business or you're running a family. You've got to set those boundaries, but you also need to have the boundaries for your private time. You know, in my Badass Certification class, one of the features that I talk about is the 4 domains of life. And you've got to have balance in all 4 of those domains in order to live a badass, successfully badass life. That's right. So those are some of my tips today. You got to be flexible, nimble, time management. Don't make don't make these mistakes. Set some boundaries, have a morning ritual, practice some self-care, plan your schedule, but don't overdo it, and don't overdo it to the point where you're overwhelmed. So that's my badass tip for today. Join me next Monday for probably another guest, because I like going back and forth, me and then having a guest, and me and having a guest. That's my badass tip from the streets. I'll see you next week. I am Kelly Orchard, the badass certifier, reminding you to be bold, be brave, be confident, be badass.